If you've ever felt like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, or if your heart just feels heavy, you're not alone. Today, we're diving deep into something really important: how to find your way back when you're feeling emotionally broken. Life throws us curveballs, some heavier than others. Feeling emotionally broken can be a result of many things: loss, failure, disappointment, or even a general sense of unfulfillment. It's a state where the world may seem dim, and hope feels like a distant dream. But here's the thing, it's also a starting point for a beautiful journey of healing and self-discovery. So, let's talk about how to navigate through these tough times, with some real talk and practical steps to help you mend. All right, let's kick things off with something super important, and yet something we often try to brush under the carpet: our feelings. Yeah, you heard me right. Those tricky, sometimes messy, often confusing emotions that we're not always sure what to do with. Here's the deal: it's totally 100% okay to not be okay. I mean it. You see, life has this way of throwing us for a loop sometimes. Maybe you've had a rough day, a tough breakup, or you're just feeling down for no reason you can pin down. Whatever it is, I want you to know it's okay to feel that way. This isn't about being strong or weak. It's about being human. Now, you might be thinking, but why would I want to dwell on bad feelings? Good question. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology suggests that acknowledging and accepting your feelings can actually lessen their impact on your well-being. It's kind of like when you turn on the light in a dark room. The monsters aren't as scary as you thought. There's a sense of relief, right? Same goes for your feelings. Once you acknowledge them, they don't seem as daunting. So, what does that look like in real life? It's giving yourself the green light to feel whatever you're feeling. Sad? Let it out. Angry? It's okay to express that. In a healthy way, of course. The key here is not to bottle everything up. If you feel like crying, cry. If you need to vent, grab a friend or jot it down in a journal. It's all part of the healing process. But here's the thing: acknowledging your feelings isn't about getting stuck in a rut of sadness or anger. It's the exact opposite. It's the first step on the road to feeling better. Think of it as cleaning a wound. It might sting at first, but it's the only way to start the healing process. And remember, this journey is unique to you. There's no right or wrong way to feel, and there's certainly no timeline. What's important is that you're honest with yourself. So, take a deep breath, give yourself a hug. Yes, self-hugs are totally a thing. And let's take this one step at a time. Together, we're going to get through this one emotion at a time. Moving on to something that's just as vital as acknowledging our feelings: reaching out for support. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Reach out? But that sounds so daunting. Trust me, I get it. The thought of opening up and showing our vulnerabilities can feel like standing on a stage with a spotlight shining directly on us. But here's the heart-to-heart truth: you're not meant to carry your burdens alone. Let's talk about why this step is a game changer. There's this insightful study published in the Journal of Clinical Psychology that sheds light on how crucial social support is when we're dealing with emotional distress. Imagine social support as a life raft in the choppy seas of our emotions. It doesn't take the storm away, but it sure helps us stay afloat. So, what does reaching out actually look like? It can be as simple as texting a friend, "Hey, can we talk? I'm going through a rough patch." Or maybe it's sitting down for coffee with a family member and sharing what's on your mind. And yes, professionals like therapists or counselors are there for this very reason. They offer a safe space to unpack your feelings without judgment. But here's the cool part: just having someone listen can be incredibly healing. It's not always about finding solutions right away. Sometimes it's about being heard and validated. It's about that friend who says, "I'm here for you no matter what," or that family member who gives you a hug that seems to squeeze the worry right out of you. And let's not forget the power of professional support. Therapists and counselors are like navigators in the journey of our emotional world. They help us understand our feelings, cope with them in healthy ways, and guide us toward healing paths we might not have seen on our own. Reaching out is about building bridges that connect us to others and remind us that we're not alone in our struggles. It's about creating a network of support that holds us up when we're feeling down. So here's the nudge. Don't be afraid to reach out. It's okay to need others. It's okay to want support. And remember, by reaching out, you're taking one of the bravest steps toward healing. You're acknowledging that everyone needs a helping hand sometimes, and that's perfectly okay. Together, let's break the stigma around asking for help. Let's be there for each other, lending ears to listen, shoulders to cry on, and hands to hold. Because at the end of the day, it's the connections we share with others that make the journey of healing a little less daunting and a lot more hopeful. All right, rolling into step 3, and this one's a favorite. Practice self-care. Now, when you hear self-care, you might think of those magazine ads with bubble baths and fancy spa days. Sure, those are nice, but self-care? It's so much more. It's like your personal toolkit for keeping your mind and body feeling good. Think of self-care as being your own best friend. It's about asking yourself, what do I need right now? And then actually listening to the answer. Maybe it's getting an extra hour of sleep instead of scrolling through your phone at night, or choosing a salad over fast food because you know it'll make you feel better in the long run. But it's not just about physical health. The American Psychological Association points out that regular exercise can seriously boost your mood and help keep depression and anxiety at bay. And no, that doesn't mean you need to run a marathon. It could be as simple as taking a brisk walk, dancing around your living room, or trying out that yoga video you bookmarked ages ago. It's all about moving your body in ways that feel good to you. And let's talk about joy. Yes, joy. Doing things that make you happy is a huge part of self-care. Whether it's picking up a hobby you've neglected, reading a book, or just playing your favorite music really loud and singing along, these moments of joy add up. They're like little love notes to yourself, reminders that you deserve your own affection and care. Here's the thing about self-care. It requires you to treat yourself with kindness and patience. It's about recognizing that you're doing the best you can with what you have. So, next time you're hard on yourself, take a step back and ask, would I say this to a friend? If the answer is no, then it's time to rethink how you're talking to yourself. So, let's make a pact to incorporate a little self-care into every day. It doesn't have to be big or time-consuming. Sometimes the smallest acts of self-kindness can make the biggest difference in how we feel. Remember, self-care is not selfish. It's essential. By taking care of yourself, you're setting the foundation to thrive, not just survive. And hey, if you've found a self-care practice that works wonders for you, share it. Sometimes the best inspiration comes from each other. Together, let's build a life where self-care is as natural as breathing and just as important. Okay, moving on to step 4, reflect and reassess. This is where we take a little time out for some good old self-reflection. It's like hitting the pause button in the middle of a movie to think about what's happened so far. Except the movie is your life, and you're both the audience and the director. Now, one of the coolest tools for this step? Journaling. Yep, good old pen and paper, or a digital app, if that's more your style. There's something almost magical about pouring your thoughts and feelings out onto a page. It's not just me saying this. There are heaps of studies backing up how beneficial journaling can be. Writing down what you're going through can act like a pressure valve for your emotions, giving you a chance to breathe and release some of that emotional weight. But journaling is more than just a venting session. It's a way to dig deep and really get to know yourself. It's asking the big questions like, what have I learned from what I've been through? And how can this shape me into a stronger, wiser person? Sometimes you might surprise yourself with the insights you discover. Reflection isn't about dwelling on the past or beating yourself up for things that didn't go as planned. It's about taking stock of where you've been, how you've felt, and where you want to go from here. It's a process of understanding that every experience, especially the tough ones, has value and lessons to offer. And here's a little tip. Be as honest and raw as you can in your reflections. This is for your eyes only, so shed those filters. The more honest you are with yourself, the more you'll gain from this exercise. So, grab a journal and start writing. Reflect on your day, your feelings, your victories, and your struggles. See how your thoughts flow and where they take you. This isn't just about coping, it's about growing. Every word you write is a step toward understanding yourself better and building the resilience to face whatever comes next. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to do this. The key is to make it a regular part of your routine, even if it's just a few minutes each day. Think of it as a check-in with yourself, a moment of honesty in a world that often asks us to hide how we really feel. And here we are at step 5, set small, achievable goals. This step is like finding pieces of a treasure map that leads to your own version of X marks the spot. It's about breaking down the big, sometimes overwhelming journey of healing and growth into manageable, bite-sized pieces. Think about it. When you're feeling low or stuck, even the smallest task can seem like climbing a mountain. But what if I told you that climbing that mountain starts with one tiny step? That's where setting small, achievable goals comes into play. It's not about overhauling your life overnight. It's about saying, today I'm going to take one small step toward feeling better. These goals can be anything that feels meaningful to you. Maybe it's picking up a book you've been meaning to read and committing to one page a night. Or perhaps it's tackling a small project you've been putting off, like organizing your desk or sending that email you've been avoiding. It could even be as simple as reaching out to a friend for a chat. The beauty of small goals is that they're all about progress, not perfection. Each time you tick one off your list, it's a mini victory. And let me tell you, these mini victories add up. They're tangible proof of your resilience, your strength, and your ability to move forward, even when things are tough. And here's the key. Celebrate these victories. Give yourself a pat on the back, do a little happy dance, or treat yourself to something nice. These moments of celebration are crucial. They remind you of what you're capable of and reinforce that sense of control and purpose in your life. Setting and achieving small goals is like laying bricks to build the path out of where you've been, toward where you want to be. Each brick might not seem like much on its own, but together, they build a road to a brighter, more empowered you. So what small goal will you set today? Remember, it doesn't have to be big or grandiose to be significant. It just needs to be a step in the right direction. And with each step, you're building the momentum to carry you forward, one small victory at a time. The journey through feeling emotionally broken isn't a straight path. It's unique to each of us. Remember, being in this state is part of the human experience, but it doesn't define who you are or your worth. Every small step you take is a brick in the foundation of your recovery, building towards a strength and resilience that might surprise you. Keep in mind, it's all about progress, not aiming for perfection. Whether you follow these steps in order or find that some resonate more with you at different times, that's perfectly okay. Healing isn't linear, and sometimes you might find it helpful to circle back to a previous step or skip one altogether, depending on where you are in your journey. And hey, we're right here with you, every step of the way, sharing insights, tips, and lending our collective strength. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, share with someone who might need it, and subscribe for more content designed to help you navigate through life's ups and downs. Together, we're stronger. Together, we can make a difference, one step at a time. Here's to healing, growing, and uncovering the best version of ourselves, together.